Hey you guys, this is the One Piece King here. In today's video, I'm gonna go and talk about the newest content with Jump Force and with what's going on with it, like my opinion of what kind of updates they did for it. And I do want to say that I do want to say that there is some kind of disappointment to me, just a tiny little bit. I wouldn't say too much, but I would say just a tiny bit. And the reason why I would say a bit of a disappointment like that is because of the fact that we have gotten Kane and Galena as, released characters for DLC. And, well, I mean, it's a free DLC, but it's still kind of a bit disappointing. I could probably see other people's views on it, thinking it's great that we finally get to play these characters. That's great. That's great. I can respect other people's opinions on what they think of it. It's just with mine, I think it's a bit of a disappointment that we got it much later whenever the game was released like a few months ago. Like it was this year exactly, but it was a few months ago that Jump Force was released. Now, here's what I'm kind of thinking though, with Kane and Galena being released, both on the 27th of July on a Friday, and the reason why I think that's the case is because Bakugo was supposed to be released on the 12th of July, which was last well, I wouldn't say last week, I would say the week before, but still, in that particular case, Bakugo was still supposed to be released, and I'm pretty sure, maybe they were probably getting around to Boo being released. Probably like a couple weeks after, like maybe, around this week or the 27th, that Boo was supposed to be released. But that's not really the case of what's happening because of the fact that we're getting Ken and Galena and, minor other features such as the Raid Boss event, which a lot of people are actually pretty excited about. I looked at it and, I'm kind of interested. Even though I don't have the game, but, whenever I do get it at some point and everything, whenever I do get my own game and everything, I would like to, check it out and everything, and I would love to also make, better videos with the game. But for now, I just want to go and talk about how Kane and Galena, it's just really, it's a bit of a disappointment because, like I've already explained, there were characters that we just got later on already, even though we could have got them in the beginning when the game released. Like you got all your main fighters and everything. We don't get the DLCs just yet, but we get all of our main fighters, like from all different series, such as the Big Three, the new Big Three, and some other series that actually, have like still yet to probably grab in potential maybe, or probably were like added in other, like jump games like Shonen Jump J Stars. There were some characters that were added in the J Stars, that there were a few others in Jump Force that they didn't add in from J Stars. Example would be Gintoki, you know. But but with Kane and Galena, they were already like the main antagonists of the whole theme of the Jump Force game, where you gotta battle them. You gotta basically like free everybody from like something about like these evil cubes that they create or something that they put on the characters and make them evil and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of very confusing because I guess it's the whole plot of it. I guess the way how I look at it, but that's just the like antagonist characters. There's always got to be something evil, like how many animes like villains always be. There's always got to be a plot somewhere on what their true goal is. But you know, that's really just something that's really been bothering me because why would you even do that? Why? You know, why put in characters that could have been so early on, in the game, like you could have put in there as either like from the shop, a side mission, something of that, But instead, you want to make it free DLCs, and like I said, I feel like they just did that just to replace, what was supposed to be for Bakugo and Majin Buu. Now, technically, those two were supposed to be released out separately, but it's just Bakugo, Bakugo didn't get released, and people were kind of being very concerned about that. They were being concerned if Majin Buu would have ever been released very soon. And then I don't think it ever came to the conclusion point to everyone's thoughts that maybe they could have been released together because maybe the staff of Bandai is really rethinking stuff over with what they want to do with their content. Like with what kind of downloadable content they want to release. Whether if they want to release Bakugo separately, or if they want to release Boo separately, or if they want to release them both at the same time. Or maybe even add in like the third character, because technically there's supposed to be three, in the season 1 DLC pack 2. There's supposed to be the next three characters that we're supposed to get. And I'm not really wanting to discuss that. I just want to go and discuss the fact of, just the whole system of how it's kind of to me, because I feel like the staff of Bandai really needs to start thinking, that they put out trailers and everything, like little trailers for the release of these new characters, such as for Bakugo and Majin Buu. They already did those. However, are they ever gonna release them anytime soon? Bakugo was already delayed, and we still don't know what the release date for Majin Buu was. At least I don't think so. But if we do, like if you're keeping up, like keeping up to date with all the content of what, Bandai is doing with Jump Force, if you love it, then you probably would look through the news and understand like Bakugo is supposed to be released on this day, or Majin Buu is supposed to be released on this day, or so and so with other characters, like they're supposed to be released on these certain days and the certain months and the certain years. But that doesn't seem to be the case because of the fact that the whole system is kind of falling apart, and I feel like Bandai is kind of just being rushed at this moment. Now, technically, everybody wants to go and blame Bandai for for the said problem that they're kind of changing everything around, and they're not like it's like, think of it like they're still kind of getting things around, but they're kind of screwing up their information of what they're supposed to be releasing in the said month of the said day, you know. But yet people want to go and actually just, I wouldn't say really harass, but more like, want to start like some type of like war or some kind of fighting back, like, basically like a payback kind of thing at them, because people, are like, half of those people I can imagine, are the ones that requested for their characters to be in there and everything, and Bandai is still being, I don't know with that yet, because, they're still trying to think like, well, it's got to be like for the anime version. It can't be the manga, because the manga version is different, but the anime version, can definitely, be added in. We just don't know about the anime side of what this character's potential really is, you know. But, but also in that point, basically, yeah, but also in that point, basically, with, the character, basically, is that, like, another example would be like, the character that was supposed to be released, but yet people want to go and argue about it and say like, I wanted this character to be released on the specific day. You were supposed to release it on the specific day, but you didn't do it. Why are you not doing that? And maybe their whole explanation is that, they, like their whole time schedule is basically like out of line, and they just didn't think about it. They just didn't think about it. Now, with technically with my own preference of what they should do is they should definitely, they should definitely have a system that is like kind of like a little bit of separate, like yes, Bandai Namco is a team. They all work together. They all kind of, help develop the games with other game companies like Koei and a lot of other game companies basically, or a lot of other companies that would help with a certain said series. Like example, if they were to make another Naruto game, they gotta get the animation that was used for the Naruto anime. They gotta really trust what kind of game company made the game series, such as the Ultimate Ninja Storm. They would have to go and go with the game company that made it, and in all said case in point, with all that kind of stuff. But the way, you know, but back to like the topic at hand here, I just think that they probably need to put separate little groups so that way nothing can get out of hand, that their schedules won't be like messed up and ruined. I get that they have so many projects that they're working on, especially this year. With a lot of new games being released, such as the Pirate Warriors 4 that I discussed in my last video, which, by the way, just if you're kind of curious about that video, please, you can go and check it out. But, but as in like the other video, or not video, but as in the other point of, what they're supposed to be doing with like all their content basically, they're basically supposed to be like they have a schedule, and they follow that said schedule with a list. And once they do that, they can finally get stuff moving. However, with the content of Jump Force kind of being, you know, changed and delayed, like I said, with the Bakugo DLC release, it was technically supposed to be on the 12th of July of this month, but it wasn't released, Now, technically, I'm not a Bakugo fan, I'm not a Bakugo fan. I love My Hero Academia, but I'm not a Bakugo fan. I'm sorry. I think, like, as, like, a character that can fight, I think Bakugo's a okay, like, he's a awesome guy whenever he gets into fights. He can really unleash out his potential if he wants to. But as in, like, personality-wise, I really think he could have changed a bit much and not been a complete, jerk to everybody, you know. But this isn't a My Hero video. um, just giving my opinion on Bakugo. But I'm just saying that, that with Bakugo, basically, with the DLC, they could have released him on the 12th. They could have done their schedule right, like how it was planned. However, though, if something was to ever fall apart, like say they were supposed to, like maybe a week later or a couple of days later, that, they got new information that they were supposed to release, these other characters that were never mentioned to be put in there, like Kane and Galena, then there you go. That would have been definitely new news. However, with having Kane and Galena both coming out on the 27th of July, having it being so random, it's no. Like, no, you could still do it, I guess. I just won't like the idea because, saying it as a DLC, like, even if it's a free DLC, that still doesn't change the fact. Like, that's okay, but that to me, that still doesn't change the fact that, that could have been a potential of Bakugo and Majin Buu that could have been both released around the said time. Now, for the third character, I would imagine would have probably got, announced and released out in August, and which would have finished the Season 1 DLC Pack 2. And then, whenever we hit either September or October, whenever they want to go and, finish it up, I would probably say like October, probably around October and November, maybe around those, but they would definitely, go and get the last three in there and everything, which people are already speculating of what characters are supposed to be. But, it's just we don't know yet, we don't know. Like, a lot of people right now are speculating that the third and final character is one of the Bleach characters, like Toshiro Hitsugaya or Grimmjow, and others are saying that it's gotta be that's gotta be Madara Uchiha. I mean, we do have Madara Uchiha as DLC. We do. It's just, like, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it is gonna be a Naruto character, and if it is, I guess that could probably make sense somewhere. But if not, it's kind of like, okay, because I believe also, with the said third character of a DLC map for the second pack that we were supposed to get was Whole Cake Island. Was supposed to be the Whole Cake Island map, and apparently, that's really cool. That'd actually be really cool to actually see in the Jump Force game, because technically we didn't have any One Piece games, at least like actual console playable games, that actually put a reference of a map of Whole Cake Island. Like, they never put any reference of anything that was like above Dressrosa as a map and a game. Never seen anything above it. We've always seen the previous arcs from the pre time skip, and some arcs in the post time skip, but not that many like we were supposed to, you know. But but I mean, if we are getting the Whole Cake Island pack, which I think we are, as saying from other videos I've watched and everything, um, that also explain about what's going to happen for the news of Jump Force. Um, if that's really the case, that we're getting Whole Cake Island for the second DLC pack of Season 1 as a map, that means that, we could possibly be getting the Bleach character, or it's a Naruto character after all. Or, I guess, another way to look at it would probably be that, yeah, another way you could look at it is that we could probably be getting a One Piece character for a One Piece related map, you know, but like, that does that kind of switch the system, you know? But I don't really know. All I know is that Bandai could really use the advice. I'm guessing that they could use the advice to really just, kind of expand out their team, or actually, get a little bit of help, with the said projects that they're working on, and how they're supposed to be doing all this content correctly, you know. And, that's basically, like, I'm trying to say, do not try to go and, attack Bandai at all and say, you're doing all this content wrong. You were supposed to be giving us Bakugo, or you were supposed to be giving us all the stuff that you promised that we looked through. We looked through your little data information, and we know what content that we're supposed to be getting on this specific time. If you didn't want us looking through this, all you had to do was make it like a public announcement and say, all right, this website, like, basically, we understand that you're looking through all this information, that you're basically reading us and already, getting your hopes up for all the stuff, but you're forgetting we are a company that can, like, sorry, I messed up the first time, but basically, yeah, could basically do like a complete 180 and, screw with your content that you think you're gonna get, but you're not. That's putting the example, like, July 12th, Bakugo's release date. Everybody knows it, you know? Everybody knows this character is supposed to be released out on July the 12th, I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably knew it way before, and even Bandai made it like a public announcement, I believe, on their Instagram page, which I take a look at. But I think that probably, that's probably what they either did. It was probably that reason, or maybe it was just a different reason of maybe something else came up and they were just, deciding we can't release this character yet. And they don't. Instead they release out Kane and Galena, And then, other minor little stuff, like the fighting style D, which, involves with swords. And yeah, and in the fact of also getting the raid boss event. Now, getting all of those, I'm not saying that I hate all of that. It's just I don't like the fact with Kain and Galena. I'm sorry if I repeat myself, too much with that. I'm just saying that like the main topic of this is just how I'm feeling about Kain and Galena for Jump Force. And, I'm not saying I completely hate the idea because at least it's free characters instead of it being like you have to pay like $1.99 or $2.99 for two of these characters, which basically is like $3. $3 for two characters, you know? Like, come on. Like Bandai, you're not making much sense with these characters. You're really not. And that's why and that's why, it's just I think that there's a different way that they could have approached this, but they want to go that route. I'm not wanting them to change their minds. I just wish that even after the release of these characters, that they could finally get the set back in motion of what they're supposed to be doing instead of panicking and thinking like the content's all ruined, and it's not. The content isn't all ruined. They still have a chance to make it better. They still have a chance to actually, get the said content right because, like with the the little miniature content basically that the little miniature content that they can release with the fighting style D, with the swords, the raid boss event, that kind of stuff can literally be like surprises basically. Like not everybody will expect all that. The only thing they're probably mostly expecting is maps, the characters, and most importantly, just anything that would newly pop up and everything, whether if we get whether if we're getting a season 2 DLC pack, which by the way, I think that is highly the case that we are getting one, and that we're also going to be getting maybe some other stuff that Bandai could surprise us with, especially the huge one that a lot of people are requesting is the rematch setting that we should get whenever we play online matches, that we should be allowed to rematch, and all that type of stuff. Now I do want to make this little point basically. I don't think in the One Piece Burning Blood game that Bandai has also, been a part of in making, I do not believe in the online, battling and everything, that there was actually like a rematch setting. I don't believe there was. It was like the instant that you lose, you get to watch the replay, or you basically just like get done. You accept your fate that you've been beaten, you know. And I'm pretty sure people around that time when that game was released and they were playing, the game and everything, that people were hoping could we get a rematch setting for Burning Blood. Now, technically in my opinion, I you know, I wouldn't really enjoy the Burning Blood game anymore because of the fact that Burning Blood really, the lacked the story. They lacked the story. They lacked the potential with all these maps that they put in there to create stories, for said like the said story of the game in there, you know, and they could have done a lot of stuff that would have created a huge potential for Burning Blood, but they never did it, And I'm not saying the same would be done for Jump Force, because I would have to play through the story to see if it was good or bad. So basically, that's on me. That's going to be on me whenever I go and, see it for myself. And I will make a complete review of Jump Force itself as a game. you know, because I've only played a bit of it, with a friend of mine, because she has it at her house, and me and her, played some matches together and everything, and I even got the hang of a few characters. So technically, I think I'm gonna be pretty alright. But as of actual story and everything else, I'm gonna have to see that for myself when I do get the game at some point. So don't don't try to really at me and say like you don't really know what the game's really like if if you don't even have it. True. But I played a bit of it, and I understand that, it could have flaws, but I never detected any. Like it's good. So technically, it's fine to me. It's fine to me. Maybe just add tiny little features in there. Then there you go. But yeah, just I really wanted to go and explain myself out with how I feel about what or not Jump Force, that is the game, but how Bandai is doing with, Jump Force. And really, I just hope, like I said, I really hope they take the consideration that they can really just make it better by following the content right, like all what they have listed, and, basically do it that way. If they have surprises for us, that's something we probably should not get our hands on, like, by trying to view through, like, their little folders. Like, we shouldn't try to do that. If they wanted to surprise us, whether it be a character or somebody else, or, not a character, but something else, they would have let us know. But as for the said points here, this is basically all what's going to be done. Where we're just going to have to wait to see what they do with other content, basically. But just want to give my own thoughts out there. Wanted to give my own thoughts, and really just wanted to explain myself about how I feel about this. Because I don't think Jump Force is bad. I think it could really have little potential to grow. It's not being a dead game, you know. It's not like they get these DLC packs and that's it. No, I feel like they have more incoming, and I feel like once it gets more sales, it's gonna have, more value to where the content could grow. So, technically, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think this game might be the game that Bandai is not actually ignoring for once. That they are actually paying attention. That this game could have been a mistake if they made, if they just gave it like minor DLC characters, whether it be a number of 3, 6, or 9, just a kind of like not a huge number. There you go. They could not care afterwards. They would just be like, okay, we gave you your DLC characters, we gave you the little content, that some of y'all were asking for. We're done. Like Jump Force is done. You can still grab your copy of the game if you want, but it's done. I don't, like none of us are gonna touch it anymore. Alright, like enjoy. But I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think they're actually gonna really care about that game and actually get it to grow. So there you go. There you go. So now, the only thing now that I could really say is thank you for watching the video. Like and leave a comment below, and because I would love to, read your thoughts about, how you feel about what they're doing with Jump Force, and, to also subscribe to this channel if you want, more like One Piece content or also more Jump Force content. I would love to make videos for both. And this is the One Piece King, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.